In all the wide blue seas, in all the wide blue world, the top school for fish was Theodore Roosterfish Elementary. And of all the fish at Theodore Roosterfish, the biggest and the strongest was Clark the shark. School is awesome, shouted Clark the shark. Less shouting, more reading, said Mrs. Inky Dink. Lunchtime is sweet, yelled Clark the shark. Munch your own lunch, said his best friend Joe Mackerel. Recess rocks, bellowed Clark the shark. You are playing rough, Clark, cried the other kids. Yes, Clark loved his life with all of his sharky heart, but he loved everything way too much. He was too loud. He was too wild. He was just too much shark for the other fish to handle. After a while, no one would play with Clark. No one ate lunch with him. No one sat with him at circle time. Even his best friend Joey said, "Cool your jets, Clark. You're making me crazy." One day, Clark asked Mrs. Inky Dink, "What's wrong with everyone?" Mrs. Inky Dink patted his fin. "Clark, sometimes you play too hard. You munch too hard, and gosh, you even help too hard. But life is so exciting," said Clark. "There's a time and a place for everything," said Mrs. Inky Dink, "and sometimes the rule is stay cool." At recess, Clark tried to stay cool, but he pushed the swing with too much zing. "Sorry," said Clark, "I forgot." "Yikes!" cried Joey. At lunch, Clark tried to stay cool, but everything smelled so good that he munched a bunch of lunches. "Sorry," said Clark, "I forgot." "We're starving," said his friends. In class, Clark tried to stay cool, but a good book got him all shook up. "Now, Clark," said Mrs. Inky Dink, "this isn't the time or the place. Tell me, what's the rule?" "Stay cool," said Clark. "Hey, that rhymes," he cried. Then Clark got a big idea in his sharky head. "Maybe if I make a rhyme, I'll remember every time," he thought. The next day, he put his plan to work. In class, when lessons got exciting, Clark wanted to bounce up out of his seat. Instead, he told himself, "When teacher's talking, don't go walking." And what do you know? It worked. "Attaboy, Clark," said Mrs. Inky Dink. Clark smiled. Lessons are fun. At lunch, everything smelled so yummy. When Clark wanted to eat and never stop, he told himself, "Only munch your own lunch." And it worked again. "Way to go, Clark," said his friends. Clark grinned. Lunch is fun. At playtime, Clark told himself, "Easy does it, that's the way. Then my friends will let me play." And playtime was fun. Once more, Clark loved his life. But then a shadow fell across the playground. A ginormous shadow with tentacles galore. "It's a new kid, and he looks scary," cried Joey. "Swim for your lives." The squid squashed the slide, and it snapped off the swings. "Oops, my bad," said the new kid. "Wait," said Clark. "He just wants to play. Let's find a way." And he swam at the new kid with all his might. Clark played harder than he ever had before, upsy-downsy and spin-a-majig. Why, he even made a new game, Tail Wumpalumpus. "Wow, that was fun," said the new kid breathlessly, and he settled down. "If you want to come to school, you've got to stay cool," said Clark. "That's right, Clark," said Mrs. Inky Dink, "and thanks for taking care of our new classmate, Sid the Squid." "Hooray for Clark the Shark!" Everyone cheered. That night, Clark's mom asked, "What did you learn at school, dear?" "There's a time and a place for everything," Clark said. "Sometimes you stay cool. But sometimes a shark's gotta do what a shark's gotta do." The end.
100 Mighty Dragons, all named Broccoli. Written by David LaRochelle and illustrated by Lian Cho. High on a mountain near a deep, dark cave lived 100 mighty dragons. They were all named Broccoli. One blustery autumn day, a tremendous wind blew half of the dragons away. This left 50 mighty dragons, all named Broccoli. 10 dragons sailed away on a cruise ship and became professional surfers in Hawaii. This left 40 mighty dragons, all named Broccoli. The oldest dragon and the youngest dragon took a train to New York City and started their own heavy metal rock band. This left 38 mighty dragons, all named Broccoli. A mysterious wizard appeared and turned one dragon into a unicorn, one dragon into a werewolf, one dragon into a zombie, and one dragon into a tiny pink poodle. This left 34 mighty dragons, all named Broccoli. 3 dragons moved to South Dakota. 3 dragons moved to North Carolina. 3 dragons moved to West Virginia. And 3 dragons moved to East Texas. Yee-haw! This left 22 mighty dragons, all named Broccoli. All the dragons wearing sunglasses flew to France. This left 13 mighty dragons, all named Broccoli. All the dragons wearing ballerina tutus flew to Sweden. This left 13 mighty dragons, all named Broccoli. 5 dragons took to a rocket to the moon. 2 of the dragons from West Virginia returned. 6 dragons moved to Hollywood and became famous movie stars. The tiny pink poodle turned back into a dragon again. And 3 dragons boarded a bus to Wisconsin to play football for the Green Bay Packers. This left 2 mighty dragons, both named Broccoli. Another tremendous wind came along and blew half of the dragons away. This left 1 mighty dragon named Broccoli, all alone, high on a mountain near a deep, dark cave. 1 lonely dragon named Broccoli looked at the gray autumn sky. She crawled into the cave and disappeared. This left 0 mighty dragons named Broccoli. Winter came and winter passed. When spring finally arrived, Broccoli emerged from her cave and smiled a mighty grin. She was followed by 100 baby dragons, and she knew exactly what to name them. There was Mateo and Johnny and Camquat and Ishmael, Tex, Hans, Jackson, Ahmad, Cha-Cha, Dimitri, Oscar, Lizard Tongue, and Broccoli Jr. Thanks for listening. The end.